Hello and welcome to another EBM presentation. Today I am going to present you an appraisal of therapy articles. The appraisal of therapy articles. Before, let me remind you about our previous presentations. Last time we discussed bias, and if you watched that presentation, you should be able to match these different types of bias with the explanations or decide how many of them are correct. Something else we discussed last time was the journal impact factor, which was defined as the impact factor of or journal impact factor of an academic journal is a scientometric index that reflects the yearly average number of citations of articles published in the last 2 years in a given journal. So a question for that could look something like that. The 500 articles published by a journal, let's say this journal is named My Journal, in 2019 and 2020, so 2 years, received a total of 1,000 citations by other journals in the year 2021. So within 1 year, within the next year, there were 1,000 citations to these 500 articles. What is the journal impact factor of that journal? Easy to calculate, just to know which number to divide by which. And let me remind you again, this 2 years period, publications should be within a 2 years period, and the citations within the next year, following year. So let's come to today's objectives. Today, I'm going to discuss with you the therapy articles, and at the end of this presentation, you should be able to discuss the significance of therapy articles in comparison with the other types of articles, namely diagnosis, harm, and prognosis articles in the medical literature. I want you to give you an insight on that. Then discuss the center of evidence-based medicine criteria for critical appraisal. There are these 3 criteria which we are expected to follow, and explain the term intention to treat. Actually, I mentioned this also in my previous presentation, but here I'll try to explain it in more detail. Then discuss the validity, treatment effect, and applicability of a randomized controlled article on a therapy. So all these previous objectives I will explain on a giving an example. Here is a search on PubMed with different terms, keywords. First, I tried to search only therapy articles which did not include diagnosis, harm, or prognosis. I have 68,000 hits, more than 68,000. When I search for diagnosis, I have 43,000 hits. Prognosis 8,000, and harm less than 1,000. So this should give you an idea how the proportions of these different types of articles in the medical literature are distributed. The therapy articles compose the vast majority of the publications. So most of the publications are on therapy. Okay. Stop the recording.